An Italian author is using a Harrisburg soldier's experiences during World War II to teach others about true courage. Lieutenant Paul Keyes was in the Army Air Corps during the war, and the Harrisburg native spent his years after war as a Harrisburg police officer.
Lieutenant Keyes passed away back in 1993. As Fox 43's Rebecca Solomon and photojournalist Anthony Grove reports, he survived behind enemy lines more than 60 years ago, and now his story is providing a life lesson to others today.
I would describe my father as a quiet, gentle person. He was never violent in any way, just laid back. He liked to read.
Jim Keyes of Camp Hill remembers his father Paul as an intelligent family man, a man who kept his war experiences to himself.
We try to talk about it, but he never really wanted to get into it. You know, anybody that had like a traumatic experience, especially in war, you know, they don't want to talk about that experience, and we never pushed it.
Lieutenant Paul Keyes' service is no longer a secret. The soldier's aircraft was shot down by Germans, and then he met Ludovico Falasca's family.
Because the human solidarity pushed my family to save an American soldier.
In October 1943, Ludovico was only a few years old. He remembers the time when Lieutenant Keyes landed by parachute in a field outside of their home in a village called Carovili. That's when his mom took on the most important role.
She became as an adoptive mother to Paul and had a protective attitude toward him.
Paul was part of the family.
Paul behaved well with us little guy. Sometimes we together joked and laughed. We played together. The idea of my father to save the family was not to hide Paul, but to get him going out of the house, send him out in the mountains.
Ludovico's father also disguised 20-year-old Paul as mentally retarded.
I did as my father has said to me. I tried to make the German understand, make the German understood that he was deaf and dumb. I don't know what the soldier thought, nor what they understand, but they left.
Just about a month later, Paul was able to safely leave Italy and return home. His communication with his Italian family eventually stopped.
The last letter written by my father was in July 1949, which was never followed by response.
Paul continued his life as a Harrisburg policeman, husband, and father, all thanks to Ludovico's family.
He was only 20 years old at the time, and I'm sure it was a pretty bad time for him. And to be found by this family, I think it, made him feel good.
But the story's only beginning.
I heard bits and pieces when I was a child that there was this family that took him in when he was shot down, but I never knew very many details. And then this started to occur, recently, that Ludovico was trying to get in touch. He first contacted my brother back in 1996.
53 years after Paul's rescue, Italian historian Pina Mafodda begins to tell his story, which is now published in this book, translated into The Parachute Appeared as a Little White Umbrella.
For me, was very important to reconstruction the memory of people.
Mafodda researched this Italian affair between an American soldier and a family who risked their lives to keep him safe.
In Italy, in 1943, is very, very dangerous to make that Falasca family made, because they saved a soldier American.
All while preserving history and encouraging others to stand up for what is right.
This is very important to save a life. The message today is very important to preserve the memory of our father, our grandfather.
The relationship between Ludovico and Lieutenant Keyes continues. Both families have since reunited. Ludovico even has relatives who live in York County.
There's that Rosalia and Haley.
That's where we met him through Skype, and it's where we saw for the first time these parts of the parachute.
Look at that. It says U.S. Army on it, yeah?
I think it's great that that family continued to remember my father, and hopefully we'll be able to go over there sometime to see him.
Now Jim knows the full story about his father's survival, and he honors him in a new way.
They're the real heroes. So, and yeah, I think my dad's a hero, just to survive that.
This story came to us when Ludovico's cousin from Dover reached out to us at Fox 43. Then we learned Lieutenant Keyes grew up in Harrisburg, so having the mutual ties to central Pennsylvania proved to be a story to tell you. Lieutenant Keyes' son, Jim, says next he'd like to see the Italian book transcribed into English and maybe even someday sold here in America. I'm Rebecca Solomon, Fox 43 WPMT.
Come si fa a registrare?
Lo sto registrando con i miei strumenti.
Ah già, è tutto il tempo.